Okay, now you've seen the power of using the properties palette to edit objects. Let me make this a bit more real life, just so that you get a sense of how easy it is to work with. So I'm going to click on the 3D view here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of these walls and I'm going to change the nature of the wall. I'm going to make those foundation walls and not have them the same all the way up. So if I said foundation 12-inch concrete, and I said they go from the footing to maybe the street level, but maybe the street level plus 6 inches. So they're going to be above ground by 6 inches, so they're foundation level like that. And then I'm going to go back to my, so I'm looking at that. It's probably a little narrow to support the concrete masonry unit and the brick leaf that's going to be on top of it. So another principle to introduce here is that if I pick on this wall type, I've got a basic wall, it's a foundation, it's 12 inches wide in my project, but I can say edit the type of wall, and I can click on duplicate. That means I'm going to make my own wall. So for example, I'm going to call this, I'll call it a foundation, and let's say I'm just going to set it as being 24 inches at the moment. Right? So that's just me change the name. If I now go into the edit the structure, I can see the materials that make up my wall. This is it's a structural concrete cast in place, and then here I'm going to change that to 2 feet, and at the very bottom I need to be able to darn, my interface is a little too big for my you see that? Okay, that's what I'm trying to get to. So I can't do it without collapsing my hiding the taskbar. So now I can click OK, and you see I was able to adjust the properties of this. So remember what I'd shown you before is mouse over, tab, click, and now you'll see that under the list of wall types I've got this one that I created inside my project, and I can change it to adjust the size. Now say on the street level here, let me just make sure that these are still constrained to the grid. So on the street level I'm going to go back and I'm going to put the other wall type on top of it. So I'm going to go home, wall, basic wall exterior. I'm going to do it using the technique that I prefer, is to draw by putting the walls in kind of approximately, knowing that I can look at that I can look at them in more detail, and then I can start to work with my favorite command, which is the align command, and say, and this is where it helps to have a little bit of the grid line easily locatable. So if I pick on that, pick on the wall, don't worry about the message because we're going to fix that in a second. Pick, center line, lock, pick, center line, lock. Okay, the reason I'm getting the message is that if I draw the bottom of my walls at 0 elevation and my foundation walls were coming up 6 inches above that, it's telling me that I've got one wall really like clashing with another, and it's giving me a warning just so that I know that that is the situation. You see what it says? The walls overlap, or you could do something like use cut geometry to embed one within another. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to fix it in the properties palette, right? Because what I want to do is I want to tab over this, mouse over it I should say, hit the tab key so it selects all of them, and then what I'm going to do is say that I want those to be, the base to begin at street level plus 6 inches, and I want them to be not unconnected but to go all the way to the parapet at the top. Apply like that. And the one other thing that I'd pointed out is if I think I forgot to constrain this one here. Right, so at the moment I haven't told it that one I can see the padlock, but this one I didn't. So I forgot to say there to center there. You notice that this time I'm not getting a message, because the warning message, because there is no overlap, because I fixed that. So now if I flip to 3D, my building actually looks like a bit more like this. I'm ready to start doing things like putting in floors.